So I want to show you my range of brushes that I've got. So I've got a range of different styles and sizes and brands. I'm going to go through each brush and I'm going to tell you why I picked it and what I think about it. So we're going to start off with this huge brush here. This is a brush that I got from Jackson's Art Supplies. This is a Pro Art brush and this was Series 50 and it's pure Squirrel brush. I honestly didn't know this was a Squirrel brush, otherwise I probably wouldn't have picked it. And this was about £22, something like that. I don't particularly like this brush because it sheds its hair and it becomes very frustrating when I'm putting down a wash of water or paint onto my paper and then I'm having to lift off sheds of hair. As you can see, that one just easily came off. So I don't really like it. It is quite a new brush of mine, so I won't be trying any brushes in this series again. But if you like Pro Art and you recommend them, please let me know, because it might just actually just be this brush. It is a lovely soft brush. It feels really nice quality actually, but like I said, it sheds its hair really quickly and it's such a shame because it's a lovely big brush and it's great for putting down big washes really quickly. So my second biggest brush, and I use this a lot for putting down big washes or applying water to my paper before I put wet washes, is my size 12 Da Vinci Casaneo. It's a lovely quality brush. It's big and fluffy and it is a rounded brush. So it's not very pointed at the end and it's not very shaped on the end, and that's why I don't use it for small details or for painting in my subjects a lot. But I do use this on backgrounds a lot because it is a nice big brush. It's lovely and soft and fluffy and I love using this for getting nice soft results. My next brush is one of my favourite brushes. This is a silver black velvet brush and it's a size 12, and the reason why I love this is because I can actually use this for most of my painting because it is a pointed round brush, but it's got a really nice lovely pointed thin end, as you can see. So I can get into really fine corners and some fine details with just the end of this brush. But then the middle of the brush, the belly of the brush, is nice and big and bulbous and really soft, and it holds lots of water and paint. So I can get some really nice big washes down and not have to be constantly dipping my paintbrush into my paint and water. Another brush that I love, and this is probably more of a favourite than the Casaneo, is my Cosmo Top. So I probably prefer this one because it's got more of a springy end to it, so it's a bit firmer and I can get more control with this. So this is a size 10 Da Vinci Casaneo. It's really lovely to hold because it's got faceted handle, so it's got like flat edges to it, as you can see. So it's really good for grip and I really love this one. It's a lovely quality brush. I'm not really sure what it's made of. I will find out for you and write in the description box if I can. But I definitely recommend having a bigger brush like this. Then I've got two really grotty old brushes that are just cheap, and I think these are acrylic brushes that I started off with. But I use these for mixing. These are good for mixing up your paints so that you don't have to ruin your good quality brushes on mixing the paint and digging up old dried on paint, because they can ruin your brushes. So I use that for these, and I also think these are great for getting some really nice texture because they're old and grotty. You can use these for foliage, for getting some nice tree effects, or getting some really nice texture within your painting. So I really like those for that. This is a silver black velvet brush, my size 10, and this is probably my most used brush, so I love that one. These are two Winsor and Newton Cotman brushes. So these are the brushes that I started off with as a beginner, and I would honestly recommend them, although they are quite firm brushes, so I don't use them that often anymore. But as a beginner, I absolutely loved these brushes. They're really good quality and they hold their shape lovely as well. They are synthetic brushes, so they've got some really good snap to them. And this one is a size 8 and this one is a size 6. So I would say start off with a size 8 or a 6 and maybe like a size 10 or a size 12. That will probably see you through most of your paintings then. These are my smaller brushes with finer tips. I've got a Princeton Neptune brush. This is a size 0 with a really teeny tiny little end. I do use this for getting in the pupil of animals, like if I really need to have some really teeny tiny little details or some little whiskers or animal fur or something like that, then I will use this tiny brush. So it is good for that, but that is not a brush that I use that often. This one is one of my most used brushes as well. It's a silver black velvet size 6 brush, and I love it because I can get into some really fine details and small detailing with this brush, but then it is a nice size to also fill in not big areas, but I can fill in medium-sized areas, if you understand me. I don't even know if I'm explaining this properly. And this is a size 6 Princeton Neptune, so this is a really nice good size, and I've started using this a little bit more because I really like it. So I use this more now for my tutorials on YouTube and also for my practice because I really love that. There are a few brushes here as well. So I got some longer brushes which are script brushes or rigger brushes. So this one is a rigger brush. It's got a longer end, as you can see, and it's a size 1 Princeton Neptune. These are great for getting a nice fluid line, so a nice even line. For instance, if you want to paint whiskers on animals, or you want to paint long trees or long lines within your paintings, this is great for that. And I think these were originally maybe started off or called rigger brushes because people used to paint the rigger, use them to paint the rigger of boats. Maybe, am I guessing that? I don't know. I will find that out for you anyway. This one's a silver black velvet size 8 script brush, and I love it. It is a lovely quality brush, but again, I don't use it that often. This one's a sable brush, and it's a Winsor & Newton professional watercolor sable. It's a size 2. It's a lovely brush, but I don't use it that often. It's got a longer end. This one's a rigger brush. It is super soft, so maybe that's probably why I don't use it that often. I do struggle with really soft brushes for the control. I do prefer to have one that's part hair and part synthetic, which are these silver black velvet brushes, but a lot of people do prefer these type of brushes. So it's all trial and error really. Like I said, these are all different brands, and I've gone through so many different brands, and now I can say which brands I love and which brands I don't, and I can also say which shape of brush I like and which I don't as well. Another brush that I've got is this one. It's an Eradicator brush, and it's by Billy Showell. I got this from Jackson's Art Supply. These are really good for lifting off paint. So they're nice stiff brushes, and they're great for lifting. Like I said, this one's quite small. I would prefer to have a slightly bigger one. So this one is a size 2, and I do plan on getting a slightly bigger one so I can lift bigger areas. But it's good for if you've made a mistake and you want to take some colour out, or if you want to create some highlights within your work. Maybe you've missed some highlights or something like that. Then I've got this brush, and I got this from a stationery shop ages ago, before I even started watercolour painting. So this is a Royal Crafter's Choice brush. It's a size 1 flat brush, and it's a square brush. So I love this actually. It's really good quality for the price that I paid for this. So it is great for painting in flat washes and getting more flatter edges. This is great for getting a nice flat edge. You can see how flat and straight that brush is. So these are lovely for getting nice big flat washes on your page. And yeah, I really like square brushes. I would actually like to get a nice big square brush. I have got acrylic brushes, but they don't really hold that much water. So I would like to invest in a nice big flat brush like this in the future, but a nice quality one. And then I've got these brushes here. This one is by Derwent, and it is a travel watercolour brush. So you fill this little chamber with water, and then the water you can squeeze into the end, and it comes out at the nib here, out of the tip, and you can actually paint with this. And these are lovely quality brushes. They are synthetic and they're quite firm. But this I got in a set of 3. So this one's a more flat brush, square shaped. And then I've got 2 pointed brushes, which are lovely quality, and they are really lovely to paint with actually. So I would definitely recommend these. If you love traveling, or you want to not mess around with having a water jar next to you, you could always use these because they're convenient, and like I said, they're great for traveling. So if you wanted to go in the car or on an aeroplane or something, then you could just fill this up and take it away with you. That was just a quick rundown on what paintbrushes I've got and what ones I recommend. I will link as many brushes as I can down below for you to have a look at. Let me know as well what brushes you really like to use, because I think I've got a slight brush obsession and I'm always looking for new ones. So if there are any brushes that you really like that are not too expensive, I would really love to hear from you. Have a lovely rest of your day, happy painting, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.